Mm. So today we'll discuss about validation rules in Salesforce. Let me share my screen real quick. Everyone can see my screen, right?
Bro.
Yeah, guys, this is our like branding. Like if we'll share this presentation. Like if you have any referrals, please do share this branding to them. We are like 8+ years experience in this industry training, and like will help in live hands-on admin and development training with the two practical in a practical way, and we'll use some real-time project implementations. We'll have one-on-one personal mentorship. We'll also do work support. So this is about our branding. So yeah, Salesforce data model, formula fields. So here we discussed about formula fields like how to calculate the annual bonus of the employee based on his salary, and how to calculate the total experience of the candidate based on his joining date with the help of formulas using the automated calculations. And we also we also like did the current stage of the employee. We took this as an example and implemented this formula. So that's how about formulas. So the our next topic is validation rules. So what are validation rules? What are validation rules in Salesforce? A validation rule prevents a record from being saved if the certain conditions are met. Like if the logic evaluates to true. It's like validating the record data. So we are like simply entering the data and saving the record. But what if the case if we entered incorrect data, and if the Salesforce is allowing us to save, we need to put some restrictions, right? Let's suppose uh, in the phone number should only be 10 digits. It can't go beyond the 10 digits. So but in our case, if we enter the phone number more than 10 digits, it's Salesforce will accept, because we did not put any validations or restrictions on the data. So in order to put that restrictions, in order to maintain the correct data, in order to maintain the uh, right data in Salesforce, we'll go with validation rules. So it's like a same formula. If the condition evaluates to true, we will display the error message. The record will not be saved. We'll stop the record from being updated in the Salesforce. If it is false, record saved successfully. So why we use it? Why to use validation rules? The purpose of validation rules is to ensure accurate and clean data. We'll maintain the clean data with the help of validation rules and maintain the accurate data, and we can enforce business rules, maintain the data integrity. These are few things like uh, why validation rules comes into picture. Avoid manual checking of the data. We can't every time manually check the data. We put a validation rule in the backend, and that will take care about the data and improve reporting reliability. And the benefits of validation rules, here also we can even validate the data. We can even do all these things without no coding in Salesforce, so that's the power of validation rules. uh, I mean, we can validate the inputs. We can validate the user input data without writing zero programming language. Just some validations inside the Salesforce, and like this work in real time validations. Like whatever whenever the change is done, it automatically calculates. It automatically validates the data in a real time, and we can add some custom error messages to the validation rules. Let's suppose if the in our scenario, if the phone number is more than 10 digits, then I'll add a message saying please enter the mobile number up to 10 digits, or the mobile number can only be 10 digits. It supports various logical operations like and is peak value change. So we have some limitations also at the validation rules, like cannot update or modify data. With the help of validation rules, we can only validate the data, but we can't sorry, we can't like change the data or update the data in the Salesforce servers. We cannot automate process limited for very complex logic. Too many rules may create conflicts. So let's look at this pictorial representation, visual representation, validation rules in Salesforce. Example scenario: Julie. So what she wants as a sales manager, I wanted to make sure salaries are set correctly. So Julie wants to set a validate the salary field, like validate the salary value. She wants the salary to be in a right way, accurate way. So what this guy is saying, I created a rule, so salary must be positive. So it's like so this guy has created a validation. This guy wants to create a validation rule where if the salary is in the negative characters, if it is in minus numbers, then Salesforce should not allow. Salesforce should not allow. So are we good with this? Are we good with this? She wants to the HR, the sales manager wants to validate the salary data, and for that purpose, like we come up with a validation rule which only accepts the positive data, which only accepts the positive data. Salary must be greater than zero. So we'll take this example and try to implement this. So before taking that, before like going to Salesforce, are we good with this use case? Hello.
Yeah, bro.
Hmm. Cool. Thanks. Let's do our Salesforce. Or guys, practice, practice, practice. We should practice from now. Things will get little complex. So our use case is we don't want the salary to be in negative numbers. So where I want to put that validation? Where I want to put that validation? Answer. Where I want?
Column.
Yes. No. Validation on which table? Salary is in which field? Which object? We created a salary field, right? And that is on the talent object, right? Yes. Yeah. And this is on the talent object. So I want to validate this talent data. I want to validate this talent records. I want to validate this talent object data, talent table data. So in order to validate that, I need to add a validation rule inside the talent, inside the talent object. So I'm on the talent object. If you scroll down, whatever we see fields and relationship, page layouts, record pages, and if you scroll down little more, you'll see a you'll see a option called validation rules. Validation rules. So here we did not set up any validation rules. Now we'll set up the new validation rule. We'll set up the new validation rule. Do we have this example? Okay. Okay. Let's make this validation rule as salary positive, or like let's take this one, salary positive, and name it as salary positive. So it should be in the activate status. So here what I wanted to do, annual salary. If the annual salary is less than or equals to zero, if the annual salary is less than or equals to zero, so in that case, if it is less than, then it comes under minus salary. If it is equals to zero, then also we should not allow. The salary should be greater than zero. So I'll put this condition. I'll put this condition. We have a field called salary, right? In the talent, salary, uh, salary, salary less than or equals to 0. So in this by like we are using the validation rule to validate the data on the talent object by saying if the salary is less than or equals to 0. If the salary is less than or equals to 0, if this is satisfied, if this is satisfied, I wanted to show an error message to the user. I wanted to show an error message to the user saying salary must be greater than 0. Salary must be greater than 0. Salary must be.
And guys, remember one thing: when we are writing a formula in validation rule, we should always match the negative scenario.
Exactly.
Okay, so we should match the formula for the whatever the value we should not allow to the record.
Hmm.
Okay, because it if it evaluates true, so it won't save the record, the
Yeah,
value. So if it is evaluates false only, it will save the data on the record.
correct.
So we
See,
should remember while
yeah,
writing the formula.
if the validation like logic is true only, our error message will get executed. If it is false, it won't. So in short, I want understand in a way like if the salary is less than or equals to 0, I should not allow. So we'll validate the salary data. If it is less than or equals to 0, I'll put a message saying salary must be greater than 0. Salary must be greater than 0. And the error message can either appear at the top of the page or below a specific field on the page. So what is the purpose of this error location is if I add at the top of the page and if I try to click on save, it will display, it will display here, it will display here. If I add at the field level, we can display at the field level for which particular field. Let's suppose we are calculating the salary field, so we can display the error message at the salary field as well. We can display the error message at the salary field as well. The purpose of this validation tool is to check whether the salary is in positive number. I'll click on save. Now you'll see how it behaves. So we added a validation rule in Salesforce. We added a validation rule in Salesforce. Now I'm taking this talent Narsha. I'm taking this guy. I'm taking this guy. Uh, let's suppose on the salary, if I'm trying to add minus 30,000 or whatever it is, minus 30,000. See, immediately we are seeing the message. Salesforce will not allow the record to be saved. Salesforce will not allow the data to be saved. Salesforce will not allow the candidate to be saved. So I wanted I wanted the salary should be in not in negative characters or 0. It should be in the positive numbers. Sorry, positive numbers. Salary must be greater than 0. This is what we put at here. Salary must be greater than 0. And if I make it as 0, click on save, it won't allow because it should be greater than 0. I'll put it as 1. Now we are able to see the salary. Now we are able to see the salary. Now we are able to add the salary. Let's take another record. Let's take Charan and update this guy's salary in the minus numbers and see what it says. Salary must be greater than 0. So how immediately it's calculating the, how immediately it's validating the data. See, that's the power of validation rules in Salesforce. Did we wrote any single line of code? Nothing like that. In the backend, for this thing, Salesforce will have a lot of code, but Salesforce will not ask us to write the code for this as well. Like we'll just use the field and we'll use some math operations and execute the logic. Are we good? I'll add the message at field level as well. Now I'll add the message at field level. So field level, where I need to add salary because I'm calculating the salary. Save. Now if uh, I make it as 0, I make it as 0 and click on save. Salary must be greater than 0. Salary must be greater than 0. Here I am seeing the error message. Earlier we saw the error message at the record page, at the page level, but now we are seeing it as a field level. Are we good? Guys, are we good?
Yeah, bro.
Hmm. Just a simple formula, whatever seen in the formula, that will have that formula here. And what is the purpose of validation rule is to show the custom error message. In the formula, we can't show, we can only do calculations, right? Can we show error messages? No. That's the that in order to show the error messages, we'll use the validation rule with the formula condition logics. That's all. Now let's take another scenario. Other scenario. Uh, 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 uh. Yeah. So let's take this scenario. Row number 5. Email required for remote. So my scenario here is I wanted to make the email address as required if the work mode is remote. If the work mode is remote, if the candidate or if the talent is working in remote mode, the candidate or talent is working in remote mode. I wanted to uh, make the email as a required. Okay, so let's create this work mode field first. Work mode remote. So we did not had any work mode. Okay, we did not had any work mode, right? No. Yeah. Create this field. It's a pick list field. It's a pick list field. Pick list work mode. Enter values. Remote. Uh, WHO and hybrid. So we have three work modes for the candidate. We have three work modes for the candidate, talent, employee. Make it visible for all for now. Next, save. Okay. So work mode, remote. If the work mode is remote, the email should be required. See, we did not have any validation, but my requirement is even if the work mode is remote, and if the email is not there for particular candidate for particular employee, Salesforce is allowing us to save the data. But if the work mode is remote, I wanted to make the email field as required. I wanted to make email field as required. I wanted to make email field as required. So for this, we'll take the work if the work mode is remote, and if the email is blank, then we'll say email required for remote. Let's create another validation rule here. error message, uh, rule name, let's make it as email required for remote. Email required for email required for remote work. Okay, so I'll use the and function here because we need to calculate both and function, insert and of is pick value of is pick value and of is pick value of what is that pick list field, work mode work mode work mode. If the work mode is if the work mode is if the work mode is what we should have here, the work mode is remote. If the work mode is remote, mm, the work mode is remote and of is pick value, uh, closing here, the work mode is remote and is blank is blank is blank of what is that, email, is blank of email. If the work mode is remote and if the email is blank, then I wanted to say email required for, then I wanted to say email address is required for remote employees. I'll check this syntax. No errors found. Save. So if the work mode is remote and if the email is blank, then then I should not allow the Salesforce to save the data. So email work mode is remote, and if I try to make it as remote again, see, immediately is showing email address is required for the remote employees. Email address is required for the remote employees. If I change it to work from office, what is the behavior now? What should be the behavior now? If I click on save, answer guys.
It will accept, bro.
Exactly. Awesome. It will accept. And if I keep it as remote, click on save, email address is required for remote employee. So I'll add the email address. No, so route at the rate of tcs.com. What should be the behavior now? So click on save. Will it accept? Will it accept or not? Accepts, yeah. Got it? So this is the power of validation rules. With the help of validation rules, without even writing a single line of code, we are validating the data by using the existing functions inside the Salesforce. For the pick list fields, we'll use eSpick value, uh, and like for we'll have various functions here. For the number fields, we'll use number functions, and the blank value for the date fields, and we can also use if statements. We can also check the null checks. So we can use various functions here. What are the functions which we see in formulas? We can use all those functions. And let's take another example. Mm, 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 mm. So let's take this row number 10. If the employee is full-time employee, and if the other is not added to that employee, other number is not added to that employee, then we should not allow the Salesforce to save the record. So Aadhaar required for identity required for FTE, full-time employees. Identity required for full-time employees. Here I'll use the same AND function, and is pick value of mm, let's first create the other number field, because we don't have any other number field, right? Create a field, other number, it's a number field. Yeah, it will have all the numbers. So let's take number field, Aadhaar number. So I can adjust the maximum length. So maximum length is 20 numbers. I don't need any decimal places. It's another number field name, and you don't need to add this help text. In the help text, I'll add saying uh, Aadhaar number is required. So before validating the data only, the user can hover on the help text icon to see other number is required when work mode is remote. Next, okay, the maximum length is 18. If it will be well. If I go to our data, okay, Mahesh, and so and Mahesh is available for project and is primary skills in WebEx, and and he's an offshore talent, and Cognizant is his client, and his date of joining is 2020. That is, the salary is 10 lakhs, and work mode is work from office. Okay, full-time employees work from office. So he's an full-time employee or work from office. Like he is okay. We create the employment type. Let's create an employment type field as well to be more accurate. Let's create a new field with pick list field. Okay, I'm taking number of examples here, number of fields, creating a field multiple times. You should get just for knowing, like, okay, employment type, and it is full time employee. Full time employee contractor. Hmm. District with list. Employment type. Next. Okay, possible for everyone. Save. Now employment. Give the order employment type. No. Onboarding app. Talents. New talent. Yeah. Yeah. So this is like we'll have catches. See, no, I got employment type. We'll have catches is a Salesforce runs inside the cloud. Okay, cool. Once we go to flexi pages, you will not have these issues. Okay, let's take this existing candidate, Narsa, and his employment type is full-time employee. And if the employment type is his employment type is full-time employee, and I did not added any other number here. Now I'm able to update this candidate, right? But my requirement here is, if the employment type is full-time employee, and I don't want to, like, I don't want to make the other number as blank. If the other number is blank, I should throw the error. I should not allow the user to save the record. I should not I should put some validations at the Salesforce. Other number is required for full-time employees. For this, identity required for full-time employees is peak value of okay, identity required for full-time employees, and of is peak value of, what is that peak list value? Employment type, employment type, employment type, value of employment type equals to what is that employment type we had, full-time employee, right? Let's go and see the exact value. Full-time employee. If the employment type is full-time employee, if the employment type is full-time employee and is blank of, if the employment type is full-time employee, and if the Aadhaar number is blank, if the Aadhaar number is uh, Aadhaar, Aadhaar number, the Aadhaar number is blank for the full-time employees, I should say, full-time employee is blank, type full-time employee, no errors found. The employment type is full-time employee, and if the Aadhaar number is blank, then I should not allow the user to save the candidate data. I should not allow the HR team to save the candidate data. Aadhaar number is required for full-time employees. At the top of the page, click on save. Now, if I go to talent data, if I go to talent data and I load a new talent, Vijay, and his primary skill is Java and is available for project, is an offshore one, and is a client, and date of joining is 2018, this salary. Now I will say, if the employment type is full-time employee, so Aadhaar number is required. So when I had a help text, right, while creating the Aadhaar number field, that is how it displays here. Aadhaar number is required when the work mode is remote. Like, it's before clicking on save, before validating the data only, we can see this help text so that the user will know, oh, while when selecting the work mode as sorry, work mode as a full-time employee, Aadhaar number is required. Let me update that help text. Update it to Aadhaar number, help text. Aadhaar number is required when the work mode is, when employment type is full time, when employee is full time FTE. So if the employment type is full-time employee, and if I click on save, the employment type is full-time employee. Employment type is full-time employee. Okay, let's go to the formula. Validation rules. Identity required for full-time employee. E end of is peak value of employment type. Full-time employee, and if the Aadhaar number is found, I think the same thing. Is peak value of employment type, full-time employee, bank of Aadhaar. Press this. Is peak value of employment type full-time, and our employment type is full-time employee. Full-time employee. The employment type is full-time employee. Employee type, not employee type. It's an employment type. Employment type. Let's take that field. Insert field. Employment type. So if the employment type is full-time employee, the other number is fine. Check syntax. Okay. Other number is blank of other number. Let us font save. See, other number is required for the full-time employees. If I say he's a contractor and click on save, it will allow. Full-time employee, Aadhaar number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we are able to see. Sorry guys, good. So with the help of, with the power of this validation rules, we can validate the Salesforce data for its accuracy. We can maintain the accurate data by putting some automated validations in the backend that will run for every transaction, for every record, for every data we insert, for every data we update in Salesforce. Are we good? Yes, are we good? Speak up, guys. Are we good?
Yeah, bro, but little bit confusing.
Yeah, as I said, it will be confusing until and unless you practice, you will not get things. Because
Okay,
this is
okay.
new topic. You should practice. You should practice. You should take some time to practice. Don't be backward. Like, use this weekend to get up to speed for the last sessions. Any questions on this validation rules? I'm gonna give this. So I think you already have this PPT. You guys wanted to try the remaining scenarios. You guys wanted to try the remaining scenarios. Are you guys able to do? I
We
think I
will
covered.
try, bro.
Okay. Just use these formulas. We already have the formulas. Just copy paste this and understand for now at least. I'm not asking you to implement a new scenario. whatever the scenarios which we have in the table only, I want you guys to do that. Charan, will you be able to do, or like, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I will try, bro,
Okay, okay,
to
cool.
see my kid.
Yeah, yeah. I think we can wrap for today's session, because if we go for another topic, you guys will get confused more. Cool. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining.